Tiny changes create massive results. Most people wait for motivation. They wait for the perfect moment. They wait for a big push. But transformation rarely begins with big actions. It begins with something much smaller. Something almost invisible. Something so easy that your brain can't reject it. This is the power of Kaizen. Continuous improvement through tiny, consistent steps. Steps so small they slip under the radar of resistance. Steps so small they build momentum without pressure, and when momentum begins, everything changes. Your brain is designed for survival, not transformation. It avoids big changes because big changes feel dangerous. They require energy. They require uncertainty. They require risk. But micro habits feel safe. They feel doable. They feel familiar. 1 minute of writing is safe. 1 push-up is safe. 1 page is safe. 1 deep breath is safe. These actions are so small that your brain doesn't activate fear. It doesn't resist. It doesn't negotiate. And once you start, you often continue. This is called the gateway effect. A tiny action opens the door to a bigger action. 1 push-up becomes 5. 1 sentence becomes a paragraph. 1 minute becomes 10. But even if it doesn't grow, you still win, because you showed up, and showing up is the foundation of every transformation. Most people fail because they try to change everything at once. They start with 10 habits, 10 goals, 10 routines. But the human brain can't handle that. It collapses under pressure, it burns out, it quits. Kaizen teaches the opposite. Choose 1 micro habit, just 1. If your goal is fitness, start with 1 push-up. If your goal is writing, start with 1 sentence. If your goal is learning, start with 1 minute. This is not laziness. This is strategy, because consistency compounds. And compounding is the most powerful force in human behavior. Habit stacking attaches a new habit to an existing routine. It uses the power of association. It uses the power of automation. After I brush my teeth, I will write 1 sentence. After I pour my coffee, I will read 1 paragraph. After I sit at my desk, I will take 1 deep breath. These stacks work because your brain already knows the first action, so the second action becomes automatic. No motivation needed. No willpower required. A software engineer wanted to learn Spanish. He stacked 1 minute of Duolingo after his morning coffee, 1 minute every day. After 6 months, he completed the entire beginner course. Not because he worked hard, but because he worked consistently. Perfection kills progress. Consistency builds it. Most people track hours. Kaizen tracks days. Did you show up today? Yes or no, that's all that matters. A 90% streak beats a perfect week followed by burnout. A small daily action beats a massive weekly effort. You don't brush your teeth for an hour once a week. You brush for 2 minutes every day. Small but consistent. That's how habits survive. That's how habits grow. Kaizen is not about forcing change. It's about experimenting with change. Try a micro habit for 2 weeks. Measure it. Adjust it. Repeat it. This is how athletes improve performance. This is how engineers improve machines. This is how creators improve their craft. Small tests lead to big insights. Big insights lead to massive results. A writer tested writing 1 sentence a day. After 2 weeks, he increased it to 2 sentences. Then 3. After 3 months, he was writing a full page a day. Not because he forced it, but because he grew into it. Identity is the strongest force in human behavior. When you say, "I want to write," you're describing a goal. When you say, "I am a writer," you're describing an identity. Micro habits build identity. One sentence a day makes you a writer. One push-up a day makes you someone who trains. One page a day makes you a reader. Identity-based habits last longer than goal-based habits, because identity is who you are, not what you do. Humans believe what they see. So give your brain something to see. A jar filled with marbles. A calendar filled with check marks. A notebook filled with tiny wins. These cues remind your brain that you're making progress. And progress is addictive. Progress fuels repetition. Repetition builds mastery. Jerry Seinfeld used a calendar. Every day he wrote jokes, he marked an X. His rule was simple. Don't break the chain. That chain built his career. Friction kills habits, so remove it. Prepare your materials the night before. Lay out your clothes. Put your book on your pillow. Set a timer. Remove obstacles. Make the desired action the easiest option. Make the undesired action the hardest option. This is how you design your environment for success. Your brain loves rewards, even tiny ones. A small celebration after completing a micro habit tells your brain that this behavior matters. And when something matters, your brain repeats it. Once your micro habit is stable, increase it slightly. One sentence becomes 2. One push-up becomes 3. 1 minute becomes 5. Not because you force it, but because your identity has grown. This is the compound effect. Tiny gains multiplied over time become meaningful change. Humans are social creatures. We perform better when someone is watching. Share your streaks. Join micro challenges. Pair with a friend. Social proof accelerates habit formation. It turns private goals into shared momentum. Micro habits are not trivial. They are strategic. They build identity, they build momentum, they build resilience. Start tiny. Iterate often. And watch small actions become massive results. This is Kaizen. This is continuous improvement. This is how you change your life one tiny step at a time. To be continued.